Hey there, everybody. It's Ericka Sallee of True Synergy. Welcome back to my channel. As a result of my personal coaching and professional development programs, I help my clients to figure out what stands in the way of their success. So I get excited about helping women and organizations to not just identify what those barriers are, but to be able to provide the strategies to help them overcome and then, yes, move to whatever level of success they desire for themselves. And so if those are conversations that you want to continue hearing, then yes, I do encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and share it out and then turn the notifications on so that you know when brand new videos are uploaded. So the topic for today is focus on the activity and the results will come. I want to say that again. Focus on the activity and the results will come. Now, this is a topic in the series that I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, the 10 best ideas to jumpstart your brand new year. Now, I want to be very specific that the brand new year, yes, might be the calendar has turned and now we're into 2022 or whatever time you happen to see this video, it might be a different year. But you can define whatever new is for you. So when you think about jump-starting your brand new year, if you want to remove the word year and insert with something else, then go ahead and do that because it's what makes sense for you. So focusing on the activity and the results will come is something that I learned back in the day when I was part of a company where we were selling a really great product, helping people to do something every day, do something that they enjoyed every day and to get some benefits from it. That was drinking coffee. And I still use those products today. It's something that I enjoyed while I was fully active in it, and I still enjoy it now. And there's so many things that left an impression on me in terms of the way that I think about how I live my life and consequently what I share with my clients. And that is focusing on the activity and the results will come. A lot of times we think about something that we want to do or something that we have in mind and we're in that mode of I got to make it happen, it's got to be this way. And when we look up, we have to ask ourselves, well, if this is the goal and if this is what I'm striving toward, then what are the things that I'm doing to help me get there? They're not going to just fall out of the sky. As much as we might want to be able to blink our eye and to click our finger. I remember watching Bewitched back in the day. That was one of my favorite shows. And I remember when she would snap her finger, anything that she wanted or was thinking about or whatever situation she wanted to create, it was right there for her. That's not how it works when we think about what we want to get accomplished. When we set out on a mission to create something or to get something accomplished, we have to recognize that if we take our eye off of, oh gosh, it's got to happen right now, and we step back and look at the activity and we focus on that, then that's when we see the difference. So how do you focus on the activity? So there's a couple things that I want to share. The first thing is that we have to decide, what am I going to do on this day that's going to help me get one step closer to whatever that is? And so that is focusing on the activity. If you say that you want to do something, let's say for instance, if you decide that you want to write a book and you know that, okay, writing the book is the result. Then when you look at the activity, you say, well, what do I need to do in order to make sure that I write that book? Well, one of the things is you got to actually sit down, make time, set time aside to actually write. So when you focus on the activity, okay, I'm going to be very intentional. If I want to write a book, then I'm going to sit down and you might decide I'm going to write on a specific day. Or I'm going to make sure that I write at least one paragraph a day. That's the activity. And you focus on that. You're very intentional about it. And so when you keep doing that, that's the consistency, right? That's the next thing. So first of all, you have to set aside the time to invest in the activity. And then when you do that, you have to be very consistent and persistent. Consistent means that I'm doing it over and over and over. Persistent means that no matter what's happening in my day, I'm going to make the time. I'm going to be persistent with this because I know the end result is that I want to get this book done. So when you focus on the activity and you're very methodical with it, you're very intentional, I'm going to do this. That might mean that you have to shut some things out from your day. That might mean that you have to be very diligent and disciplined to eliminate distractions. You know, one of the distractions I'll tell you right now for me is this. This cell phone is a distraction. Never mind the fact that I dropped it on concrete and it's got a million cracks in it, but this can be a distraction. Maybe it is for you too. So if you know that, okay, if my end result is to write a book, and if the activity is that every single day I'm going to focus time on writing, then that means that you have to perhaps put this or whatever other distraction to the side. Sometimes it means putting this in a different space. I sometimes will turn the phone over, like so I can't see if messages are coming in or stuff, notifications are popping up on my phone. So I'll turn it over so I don't see that. Sometimes it might mean putting it all out of your space altogether, because then that way you can focus on the activity, the thing that you need to do so that the results will come. So let's break it down even further. You want to write the book, and let's say the book might have 7 or 8, 9 chapters. So when you think about the result, if it's too big to think about completing the entire book, and I talked about this in my previous conversation about creating small wins, so this kind of is connected to that. But what you can do is say, okay, if the result is the full book, well, let me just look at the result as being 1 chapter, okay? And if the result is 1 chapter, then all of my activity, writing a paragraph, and you might say, okay, every day this week I'm going to write. And I'm going to write at least 1 paragraph, and you commit to doing that. That is creating or focusing on the activity so that the result, the 1 chapter complete, is done. And then you move on to the next chapter and you say, okay, if I focus on the activity, the result will come. If I focus on being intentional, persistent, and consistent with the writing, then the result, the next chapter, will come. And if you use that same principle throughout, then guess what? Focusing on the activity, your head's down in it, you're making sure that you do it, you're making sure you weed out all of the things that would keep you from doing it. The result, the end result, the book, oh my gosh, is complete. The draft is ready. It's ready to go to the next step. So when we focus on the activity, we get ourselves in the mode of creating and producing, so that we are being methodical about how it comes about. Otherwise, we're going to sit back and say, oh, darn, you know what? I said I wanted to write a book, but I didn't devote the time to do it. So not focusing on the activity and only thinking about the result is not going to get it for you. I want to say that again. So if you have defined what that result is and you're like thinking about it, you're like, oh my gosh, you know what? I'm going to write that book. I'm going to do it. You're talking to people about it, but you haven't put in the activity to get you there, then do you think that book is going to get written? Do you think it's going to be complete? Do you ever think it's going to hit a stand or Amazon or wherever you want to be able to share that? So we have to be very intentional, focus on the activity, and the result will come. So on that note, I hope that that's good for somebody. Take that, do what you can do with it, apply it in a way so you say, okay, I got it. Now I need to create some activity for myself so that I can get to whatever that next step is. And if you're trying to figure out what is my next step and you don't even know how to map that out, then I encourage you to reach out to me at truesynergy@comcast.net, or you can reach me at truesynergy.org. If you go to the website, there is a link at the top of the page for you to set up a 30 to 45 minute call with me. And you might be saying, okay, how can I map out these activities? I've got all these things going on. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I work, I have a business, I've got all these activities, and you're telling me to create activities to do something that I want to do? How does that even look? So you might be asking yourself that question right now, and if you are and you don't want to answer it on your own, then I do say to you, yes, go ahead, contact me. It doesn't cost you anything but 30 to 45 minutes of your time. That's it. It's just that simple. All right? So I look forward to seeing you all again real soon. Until I do, take care and be well.